This Blender tutorial will be an introduction to modifiers with a specific focus on the Generate tools. Modifiers are automatic calculations that alter the object's geometry in a non-destructive way. This just means that the software applies these modifications without actually changing the components of the mesh. To demonstrate, this shape was made by applying a Subdivision Surface modifier to a cube. When I enter into edit mode, you can see the original cube around the object. If I delete the modifier, the original geometry returns. Modifiers are great for speeding up workflow and allowing for flexibility when modeling. You can manage them under the Modifier tab found in the Properties panel. Click the blue wrench to bring up the tab and expand the Add Modifier window. For this tutorial, we will focus on only the Generate modifiers. The Bevel modifier is similar to the Bevel tool in edit mode in that it also rounds the edges of an object. However, the modifier is a non-committal way to test out how a bevel looks on your object. Since the modifier isn't actually applied to the object, the bevel settings can be adjusted throughout the entire modeling process, or they can be deleted by tapping the X. Boolean is another great modifier. It allows you to create shapes based on multiple object interactions. In this example, I want to cut the sphere into the cube. I'll select the cube and navigate to the Modifier tab and select Boolean. Next, I'll use this dropper and pick the sphere. To see the newly created shape, turn the sphere off under the Scene collection by clicking this eye icon. Note the different Boolean effects in the Modifier panel. Difference subtracts the sphere from the cube. Union adds the sphere to the cube. And intersect keeps everything inside both meshes. To make the effect permanent, go back to the Modifier panel. Click the drop-down and select Apply. Then delete the sphere or the object you used for the interaction. The Decimate modifier simplifies the selected geometry. It decreases the density of the mesh by decreasing the number of vertices and faces. Since Decimate is useful when dealing with complex geometry, I've imported a 3D scan I made using the Clone app. Note the face count at the bottom of the Decimate panel. When the ratio is lowered, the face count decreases and the overall storage size of the model will decrease. The Mirror modifier allows you to model one side of the mesh while mirroring those adjustments. This becomes useful when modeling characters or symmetrical objects. Add the modifier and select the axis you want to mirror on. You can then switch into edit mode to further modify the mesh. Remesh alters the appearance of the mesh by generating new mesh topology. It's similar to applying a filter. There is a voxel option, a sharp option, a smooth option, and a block option. Subdivision Surface is probably the most popular modifier. It smooths a mesh without increasing the number of vertices. Levels viewport is the level of smoothing you see when working on the model in the viewport. This is also what the model will look like when it's exported from Blender. The render level refers to the smoothing that is visible in the final render within Blender, so it's less important when modeling for AR or gaming purposes. In the next tutorial, we will learn about the sculpting options in Blender.